You can heal you
Pero tú te puedes sanar a ti,
so you're not suffering.
así tú no vas a estar sufriendo.
Okay? He has to decide to heal
Y
himself.
él tiene que decidir sanarse al mismo.
Often when they see your
A
changes,
menudo cuando los hijos ven tus cambios,
without you insisting
sin tú insistirle,
or being on top of them,
dándole encima,
they get to a point
llega un punto
where they want to change.
donde quieren cambiar.
But it has to come from
Pero
them.
tiene que venir como iniciativa propia de ellos.
But you're suffering this so
Pero
much.
tú estás sufriendo esto tanto.
And this is what you have to let go
Y
of.
esto es lo que tú tienes que soltar.
You know, he has his life.
Él tiene su vida.
And it's scary, huh?
Claro que sufre.
It's a scary life he's
Lo
chosen.
que ha elegido es algo que asusta.
But you have to remove all of
Pero tú
this.
tienes que remover todo
You
esto.
have to find peace.
Tú tienes que encontrar la paz en eso.
You can't be
No
suffering
puedes estar sufriendo
for what's transpiring with
por
him
aquello que está aconteciendo con él
all the
todo el
time.
tiempo.
You know, this is an extreme
Esta es
situation.
una situación extrema.
But now you're going to be worrying all the
Pero
time.
ahora vas a estar preocupándote por eso todo el tiempo.
And you can't do that.
Y no puedes hacer eso.
So you've got to heal all of
Tú tienes
this.
que sanar todo esto.
And when you
Y
change,
una vez que tú cambias,
often the children come
muy a menudo los hijos también se acercan.
because they see
Porque
someone
ven a alguien
that has an answer for
que
them.
tiene una respuesta para dar.
But if you're in panic and
Pero si
hysterical,
tú estás en pánico e histérica,
there's no answer from you.
no va a llegarle ninguna respuesta tuya.
If you're on top of
Si
him,
estás encima de él,
there's no answer from
no va a
you.
haber ninguna respuesta desde ti.
You know? If you want to catch a wild horse,
Si tú quieres agarrar a un caballo salvaje,
you have to allow it to come to you.
tienes que permitir que él se te acerque.
You can't force it to
Lo
come.
puedes forzar a venir.
That's an example.
Yesterday I saw the movie. And I saw that you have a lot of connection with your animals, no? I share the connection with horses. And I saw that maybe are your power animals, your horses, your falcon, or your eagle, I don't know what it is, and your wolves, no? How do you flow with them, when you are connected with them, how you flow?
Yeah, I just love them.
Yo solo los amo.
And I've always been like that.
Yo siempre he sido así.
I've loved animals since I was tiny.
Yo amo desde que era muy chiquita a todos los animales.
And I have no fear of
Y
them.
no tengo miedo a los animales.
And they feel that.
Y ellos lo sienten.
And they come to me.
Y se me acercan.
Yeah, but that's all.
Pero eso es todo.
But I also know that who they are.
Pero también yo sé quiénes son.
You know, I don't treat them like pets.
Yo no los trato como mascotas.
Like the falcon
A la halcona,
and the wolves,
a los lobos,
I know what they are.
yo sé lo que son.
And I love them
Y los
unconditionally.
amo incondicionalmente.
And I have a very close
Y tengo
connection.
una conexión súper cercana.
Okay, they're not dangerous with me or anything.
Conmigo no son peligrosos ni nada así.
But they're wild.
Pero son salvajes.
They do things.
Y hacen cosas.
You know, my falcons
Mi halcona
hurt me.
me ha lastimado.
And I learned, oh, don't do that.
Aprendí no volver a hacer eso.
And I raised her from when
Y
she
yo
was
la
this
crié
big.
desde que ella nacía chiquitita.
And I know how they are.
Y yo sé cómo es.
And I don't want to make them into cuddly toys,
Y
no?
no quiero transformarlos en mascotas, en bebés y juguetitos. ¿no?
You know, they're free and they're
Son
mine.
libres y son míos.
Yeah.
I want to do 6 months. And I feel afraid. I feel afraid to know if I'm going to be able to be independent in taking care of myself. As I'm used to be very strong, I feel afraid, and it's hard to connect it with that weakness I want to have. I feel it, but I don't connect with that emotion, so I'm not sure how to do it. I know it's there, but I cannot connect there and let go.
You know, you don't have to force that.
No hace falta que lo fuerces eso.
It will come.
Va a emerger.
The emotion will come when
La
it's ready.
emoción va a llegar cuando esté lista.
And of course,
Y por supuesto,
you know, everyone's terrified of the 6
todos
months.
están aterrados de los 6 meses.
And now you're having a vulnerable
Y además tú
situation.
estás teniendo una situación vulnerable.
that you're not used
a
to.
la que no estás acostumbrado.
And on some level, you'll be
Y en
dependent.
algún nivel vas a ser dependiente.
And you have to also surrender to
Y
that
también te tienes que entregar a esa experiencia.
and trust that you will get what you
Y
need.
confiar que vas a recibir aquello que necesites.
So you have to go through that.
Así que tienes que atravesar eso.
But you'll connect.
Pero tú vas a conectar.
There's no doubt about
No hay
that.
duda.
You'll be moving a lot.
Y estarías moviendo muchísimo.
I think it would be an amazing thing for you to
Yo creo que
do.
para ti hacer los 6 meses sería algo increíble.
But really, especially after what's happened,
Especialmente después de lo que te sucedió.
you must have a lot to
Debes
move.
tener un montón para mover.
Yes, and I also see you as someone that
Y también te veo como alguien
has an easy capacity
que
to
tiene
grow.
una facilidad para crecer.
Like it's easy for you to
Como
grow.
que es fácil para ti crecer.
So don't be being
Así
exigente,
que no
yeah?
estés exigente contigo.
Just allow it to
Solo
come.
permite que te venga.
You know, you can't force your
No puedes
emotions.
forzar tus emociones. a que
You know,
salgan.
just be gentle. I know you're in there.
Yo sé que estás ahí.
I want you to come out.
Quiero que salga esa emoción.
Don't be like that.
No, así no lo hagas.
You know, be more nurturing.
Sé más como más nutritiva,
Ah.
más contenedora contigo.
Yeah, because it's not nice. You've got something sitting there. It's like, oof.
Que si hay algo así, bueno.
But it's probably not something so small, huh?
Pero posiblemente no es algo muy pequeñito.
It's got to come when it's ready.
Y va a salir cuando esté listo.
Yeah, great.
Hi, Isha. Today I saw that being here is very good for me. And I feel I need to do the 6
Everyone's
months.
doing the 6 months. Que bueno.
But there is something that today while I was unifying, I had to go to express and it was a pain in the chest. And I saw how much I love my mom, and it's like I'm tied up to her. I cannot let go of her. I never thought I could love somebody so much that ties me up to, I cannot leave her. I don't know how to explain. It's too strong what I feel for my mom. I know that soon she is leaving. I think the universe gave me much more, an extra for her to know each other, to hold each other. She's very happy I'm here. Seguro. She follows you a lot. But if I live for 6 months, I don't know what is going to happen with me. I don't know how to detach from her. How not to suffer that I'm leaving her.
You know, it's a hard situation
Es una situación difícil.
because your mother's very fragile.
Porque está muy frágil tu mamá.
But the point of the thing
Pero
is,
el punto es
you'll have to let your mother go.
que vas a tener que dejar ir a tu mamá.
And yes,
Y sí,
you're going to move a lot of
vas a
stress.
mover muchísimo.
You're going to be very
Vas a
sad.
estar súper triste.
But this is happening either way.
Pero va a suceder eso, lo vas a tener que hacer, hagas lo que hagas.
You know, when we're losing someone so close to
Cuando
us,
estamos perdiendo a alguien que es tan cercano a nosotros,
it's a place where we're embracing
ese es
ourselves.
un lugar donde nos estamos abrazando a nosotros mismos.
When we let go of that attachment,
Cuando dejamos ir ese apego,
we find that love internally.
podemos encontrar el amor internamente.
So you need to unify a lot.
Así que tú tienes que unificar muchísimo.
You need to talk to your mother
Necesitas hablar con mamá
and you need to get clear.
y necesitas aclararte.
Okay, but there's no rush.
Pero no hay apuro.
But yes,
Pero sí,
it would be the greatest thing you could do for yourself.
sería lo más grandioso que pudieras hacer por ti.
Mm?
While I was unifying, a phrase of yours came. I don't know because I'm adopted and I don't carry that thing of inherited from mom or dad. And I thought it was so great. And today, unifying, I could see what means for me to be the daughter of my mom and the daughter of my dad, and to have the 4 sisters I have. There is an inherited charge. The 4 of us, we are getting older. If you have panic, the other and the other and the other one also. Because we all got that from mom. You know, rabbits from the hat to explain everything come out. If I do this that I'm doing, I can let go completely that, because in reality it's not related. No. Thanks.
You know what? It's so true.
Es tan verdadero lo que dice.
There's so many
Hay
programs
tantos programas
about our health
sobre nuestra salud,
and all these
todas
ideas
estas ideas
that we have.
que tenemos.
Oh, I
en la
got that
cabeza.
from dad.
Oh, esto lo saqué de papá.
Oh, I got that from
Oh,
mum.
esto lo saqué de mamá.
And we're so much more than that.
Y somos tanto más que eso.
And we can let all that
Y
go
podemos dejar esas ideas
on a very profound
en
level,
un nivel muy profundo.
because they're
Porque
ideas.
son solo ideas.
And the beauty about
Y la
information
belleza que tiene la información
is it can
es
change.
que puede cambiar.
You can go beyond
Puedes
everything.
ir más allá de cualquier
So
cosa.
initially,
Así que al principio
we start letting go of our circles,
empezamos
no?
a dejar ir nuestros surcos
And they
cerrados.
always come from our root
Y
stresses.
ellos siempre vienen de nuestros tres raíces.
And fundamentally,
Fundamentalmente,
they're created through our
están
parents
siendo creados a través de nuestros
or
padres
through our
o a
childhood.
través de nuestra infancia.
And then you have this other level.
Y después tienen los otros
Oh, in
niveles.
our family we always have this, and in our family we get that.
En nuestra familia siempre tenemos aquello.
And yes, you can go beyond that as
Claro que
well,
puedes ir más allá de
because
eso,
it's only
porque
information.
solo es información.
And that's a wonderful
Y
freedom.
es una libertad hermosa esa.
You know, just because your mother was
Por
depressed
el hecho de que tu mamá era depresiva,
doesn't mean you have to be
no quiere
depressed.
decir que tú tienes que ser depresiva.
You know, you don't have to be a duplicate of your parents.
Necesitas ser un duplicado de tus padres.
Just because your father was a bit
Solo por
crazy
el hecho de que tu papá era un poco loco,
doesn't mean you have to
no quiere
be.
decir que tú vas a ser un poco loca.
You know, everything,
Todo
all the information on a very profound
en
level,
un nivel muy, muy profundo.
we can
La
change.
podemos cambiar.
We don't have to duplicate
No
it.
necesitamos duplicar.
And there's so much focus on
Y
duplication.
hay tanto foco puesto en la duplicación.
Oh, did your parents have this?
Ay, tus
Did
padres
this one
tienen
have this?
esto,
Did
este
this
tuvo
have
aquello,
this?
aquel tuvo aquello.
And automatically, we're told,
Se nos dice,
oh, we're at risk.
ah, sí, estamos en riesgo de eso.
We're at risk.
Estamos en riesgo.
Aisha. I'm Erika from Buenos Aires, from capital, from the jungle. I'm being here, unified in the surroundings, being in total consciousness and inner peace. Torments me to go back to a city and confront the violence, daily violence in streets, not the daily things. The horns of the cars, hysterical people. En Buenos Aires, en serio, a little bit. How can I do to handle with this violence that violence me? I get worse in that moment. What do I do in that moment not to get hooked and maintain this peace that we found?
You know, the beautiful thing is,
Lo más hermoso es
when we
que
change,
cuando nosotros mismos cambiamos,
it changes.
cambia.
Like when I go to Buenos
Por ejemplo,
Aires,
cuando yo voy a Buenos Aires,
it's not like that for me.
para mí no es así Buenos Aires.
Okay? No.
No,
As you change,
a medida que tú cambies,
everything
todo
changes.
va a cambiar.
And your responses
Y
change.
tus respuestas con lo que sucede van a cambiar.
So you won't have to worry about
Así
that.
que no te vas a tener que preocupar por eso.
And you need to think the
Y
facets.
necesitas pensar las facetas.
And if something
Y
happens
si algo sucede
that provokes a
que
movement,
provoca un movimiento,
you have to take responsibility
tienes que tomar responsabilidad
and just move it
y simplemente mover la cara
and
hacia
laugh at
adelante
it, no?
y también reírte.
Yeah. And yes, there is certain characteristics
Claro que hay ciertas características
in different
en
countries,
diferentes países,
different
diferentes ciudades,
attitudes.
diferentes actitudes.
but you can change
Pero tú puedes cambiar
and let go of the fixed
y
idea
soltar las ideas fijas
because they change.
porque cambian.
People
La
change.
gente cambia.
As you
A
change,
medida que tú cambias,
the world
el
changes.
mundo cambia.
Yeah, really,
De
it's
verdad,
true.
de verdad, es verdad.
Hi, Isha. I'm reading your book, above the clouds. I love it. But this book is talking about responsibility, the transformer, the presence. I'm these three. I could like if you can talk about the relationship of the portals and also the differences. For example, when I'm unifying, thinking in the moment, in the present moment, also I try to do the witness, watching my thoughts. As in the book you said, as if you are submerged and looking at the thoughts without getting hooked. But then I say, is this related? Are related the two portals? First facet with the first, the second with the second? Maybe I'm thinking logically. And it's more relaxed, the thing. But I want to find the differences.
Okay, I talked to you about that. You know, all of the facets are a consequence of consciousness. And there is a format. And that format's natural. And as you start to do the facets, the answers will come to you. You'll see why joy goes to surrender. You'll see why the presence then goes into transformation. But it will come to you. It's a natural consequence. And all of the portals are going to the same point. Everything goes to the same point. It's provoking different energetic movements. We're using them in different moments. But you need to understand why through your own experience. And I always say, as you master the facets, all of the information comes. Because often they look a bit abstract, like they're strange. But they're natural. And then you'll see why. Or you'll feel why. What's this provoking? Oh, I understand now. Oh, now I understand why that's the next one. Because the answers will come. But they have to come from you. So the best way to use the facets is from a place of innocence. Because if you're innocent, you're not intellectually looking for an answer. It's going to come from your consciousness. And these facets are of consciousness. They come from my consciousness, my experience, which is ultimately everyone's experience. There's no belief. It's your experience. Very annoying for a mathematician, no?
I heard many times people asking you, how we cannot change the other, we can have to change ourselves. But sometimes are these close relationships, the parents, the sisters, where you see they are immersed in the guilt, in the fear, in the sadness, different emotions. And maybe you can do something, and that's my question. What can I do?
So, you know, I think the greatest thing you can do for people is to just share your experience and then let go. And if they want something, they come forward.
van a avanzar, van a pedirlo.
Like you can give them the book,
Imagina, le puedes dar el libro,
or let them watch the
o que miren
movie,
la película,
or if you see them being
o si lo
negative,
ves estando negativo.
you know, talk about how you can focus on praise. Talk about your
Háblale como
experience.
tú cuando estás así te enfocas en la alabanza.
This is
en
what
tu
I
experiencia.
did.
Esto es lo que yo hice.
This is how I
Esto
changed.
es con esto que yo cambié.
But don't insist
Pero
on
no
them.
insistas.
This is the most important
Eso es lo más
thing.
importante.
Just leave the book lying around.
Deja el libro por ahí
And as you
y vas a
change,
ver cómo a medida que tú cambias,
people come
las personas se van a acercar
because they see something.
porque ven algo.
You know, all of my friends
Todas mis amigas
from
de
Australia,
Australia,
anytime there's a problem,
cualquier momento que tengan un problema,
they ring me,
me llaman a mí,
obviously.
obvio.
Why?
¿Por qué?
They don't even practice my
Ellas ni siquiera
system.
practican mi sistema,
But they ring me
pero me llaman a mí
because they see I have something to
porque
give
ven que yo
them.
tengo algo para darles.
And when you have that
Y
something,
cuando tú tienes ese algo,
people are open to receive.
las personas están abiertas a recibir.
But when you're on top of them,
Pero cuando estás
telling them,
encima,
you need to do the Isha system
hacer esto, el sistema,
because you're negative and you're terrible and you're blah, 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 blah,
y esto y lo otro.
blah. No.
Así.
You know, just be open
Solo estate abierta
and allow people to come.
y permite que las personas se acerquen.
Or no.
O no.
And if it affects
Y
you,
si a ti te afecta,
you have to heal
eres
that.
tú la que tiene que sanar eso.
You know, you can't say, oh, I don't want to be around negative
No
people.
puedes decir, yo no quiero estar alrededor de gente negativa.
You just chopped off 99% of the human population.
Porque si no, vas a cortar ahí al 99% de la población humana.
You know, it can't be like that.
No puede ser así, ¿no?
It's what you're being
El tema es lo que tú estás haciendo con eso.
that's important.
Eso es lo importante.
Yeah?
About duality. Confuses or I don't understand? When you talk the duality, that we live in the duality of the world, about our body, our mind, our spirit, consciousness, I don't know if it's spirit or it's the duality of the world, when the mind says this is good, this is bad, the opposite. There is where I have this.
Okay, I'll try to explain,
Voy a tratar de explicar.
but you won't
Pero
understand.
tampoco vas a entender.
Because the thing is, it's an experience.
Porque la cosa es que estoy hablando de una experiencia.
The love
El amor
makes everything.
crea todo.
It's an energy.
Es una energía
There's very high
que
vibrations,
tiene una vibración que es muy elevada,
which we call divinity,
que la llamamos divinidad.
and very low
Y tiene una
vibrations,
vibración muy baja,
which we call
que
violence,
llamamos violencia,
fear,
miedos,
all the things that, you know, are very, very negative.
que son muy negativas.
But they're still made from the same energy.
Pero están hechas de la misma energía.
It's all love.
Todo es amor.
Everything's love.
Todo es
The only thing that exists
la
is
única
love.
cosa que existe.
And everyone
Y cada uno
and everything
y cada cosa
is that love.
es ese amor.
You're not part of it.
Tú no eres parte de eso.
You're all of it.
Tú eres todo eso.
There's no separation.
No hay separación.
When we first start to experience
Cuando
consciousness,
comenzamos a experimentar la conciencia,
we find something internal
encontramos algo internamente.
that's there all the
Está
time.
allí todo el tiempo.
That is the unconditional love.
Eso es el amor incondicional.
And it's there.
Y está ahí.
This
Esto,
is changing all the time.
lo externo está cambiando todo el tiempo.
Time,
Tiempo,
space,
espacio,
birth,
el
death, famine,
el
drought,
hambre, el
abundance.
la abundancia.
All the time it's changing.
Todo el tiempo está cambiando.
So we try to anchor in something
Entonces, intentamos anclarnos en algo
that's
que
permanent.
sea permanente.
And the internal
Y el
love
amor interno
is
es
permanent.
permanente.
And the more we focus on that
Más
love,
nos enfocamos en ese amor,
we start to experience the strength of that,
comenzamos a experimentar la fortaleza de eso.
you know, like a little boat
Como si fuera un botecito
with an anchor.
que tiene un ancla.
This is my anchor.
Esta es mi ancla.
And there might be a
Tal
storm,
vez haya una tormenta,
it might be
tal
calm,
vez esté calmo,
but I'm anchored
pero yo estoy
in
anclado
that which doesn't
en eso que
change.
nunca cambia.
I'm not the waves,
Yo no soy las olas,
I am anchored.
soy el ancla.
I am unconditional
Yo
love.
soy el amor incondicional.
And the more I focus on that,
Y más nos enfocamos en eso,
my vibration gets higher
la vibración de uno va elevándose
and
más
I
arriba,
experience more
y se va
and more
experimentando más y
and
más
more
y más,
until it becomes a permanent
hasta que se
experience.
transforma en una experiencia permanente.
I'm walking around
Voy a estar caminando
in
por ahí
perpetual
en
consciousness.
conciencia perpetua.
I wake up happy every day for no
Estando
reason,
feliz cada día porque sí,
not because of something that's
no
happening.
porque algo ha sucedido.
And then at some
Pues
moment,
en algún momento,
if you let go of everything,
si sueltas absolutamente
that
todo,
love
ese amor
moves into everything
penetra todo,
from you.
desde ti a todo.
This is still changing,
Esto de afuera sigue cambiando,
but
pero
the fear falls
el miedo desaparece.
because you know
Porque tú sabes
it's an illusion
que es una ilusión.
of
Es
duality.
una ilusión de dualidad.
It's a human
Que es una
experience.
experiencia.
And you know
Y tú sabes
that you are much more than that.
que tú eres mucho más que eso.
Okay, so these are all
Así
experiences.
que estas son todas vivencias.
I talk from my
Yo
experience,
hablo desde mi experiencia.
and I couldn't understand that
Y yo no podría haber entendido eso
until I got enlightened.
hasta iluminarme.
Like anyone could tell me 100
Como que
times.
cualquiera me lo podía decir 1000 veces.
Because you're always thinking from
Y
duality
claro, siempre pensamos desde la
and all these
dualidad
belief
y todos
systems.
estos sistemas de creencia.
But this comes from here.
Pero esto viene de aquí.
And the
Las
facets
facetas
are always going to that point.
siempre están yendo a ese punto.
Unity,
Unidad,
unity,
unidad.
always.
Siempre.
Because that's who we are.
Porque eso es quienes somos.
But we're always looking
Pero estamos siempre
for something
buscando
external.
algo externo.
But everything's
Pero
internal.
todo es interno.
And that duality is internal.
No.
No.
No. Gracias.